I've been working really hard over the last few weeks to get closer to photograph my local roe deer, and in that time I've kind of changed my mind over what constitutes a success and what constitutes a failure. Now on this particular evening it started really well. I'd already seen a roe buck before I was even halfway down the track, and it was in the field where I usually start to look for them, and the roe buck disappeared to the corner of the field. So after a careful and slow approach I managed to get to the end of the field, and I was just waiting for, hopefully for the buck to appear. After about 10 minutes or so, there was two females came in, two does started walking across, simply grazing in the field. Now I was in quite a good position here. I was low down, shooting backlit, which I absolutely love backlighting, so that was great for me. And the two does seemed really relaxed. Every now and again they would look up, and they did look in my direction. I'd stay very still, and after 30 seconds or so they'd put the head down and they'd carry on feeding. I was able to get some nice shots, everything was going well, and then after another 5 minutes or so the buck suddenly appeared, and this was a dominant buck. He's probably the most dominant buck that's in this area, and again he looked very relaxed. From his body language, looks completely relaxed to me, pretty sure that he didn't know I was there. So I was able to get some shots and some video footage of him. All the video footage I'm doing at the moment is on slow motion, simply because I'm just not using a tripod at the moment, so I'm doing it all slow motion to avoid too much camera shake. Now all three deer, they carried on grazing, they went past the hedgerow out of sight. Now here I made the decision that I wanted to try and get in front of them, but from a distance. So I wanted to get to the right hand side of the hedgerow. So to do that I needed to come back and kind of go round just to give a bit more distance, and then hopefully I could get into a good position for them to come to me. Now from experience I know that you often have to keep looking back where the deer have been, never assume that they've gone. Sometimes they do kind of backtrack on themselves, and sure enough, as I was walking along I stopped along the hedgerow, I turned round to have a look to check there was nothing there, and there staring at me, directly at me, was one buck and two does. They obviously saw me, knew I was there, and one of the does actually, I think she had her legs actually in the water. There's kind of a lot of water there where the track was flooded, and the roe buck was just stood on the grass. And here's where I made the mistake, and the mistake was that I basically took a picture. So I lifted up the camera to take some shots, and they saw that movement and then they ran off. And this is the thing, as a photographer, it's kind of, you know, it's kind of instinctive to do that, but basically it was the wrong thing to do here. I was very close to them, and what I should have done is just simply stay quiet, stay still, and again just let them see me and hopefully not see me as a threat. Instead I pulled the camera up to take the pictures, and that's what disturbed them. They ran off, and that was it for the end of the session. So I think the lesson here really was knowing when not to take a picture, and that's a big thing with the roe deer, is sometimes resisting that temptation to take a picture. You just have to stay still and just not do it at all. And also it's made me think differently about what I perceive as a success and what I perceive as a failure. In the old days, getting a picture would have been a success, and here, yes, I did get some pictures and they were amazingly close, and it was a great encounter to have, but in the end they were disturbed and they ran off, you know, being disturbed by me, and that is the last thing that I want to do. So in this case, you know, I do see this as a failure. So always learning with roe deer. I'll put out another update soon, and there's going to be a full video describing all my challenges and everything I've done here, lots of footage and images. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.